Hi, this is Anusha. In this video, I am going to explain concrete technology, Unit 4 Special Concretes. First topic, lightweight aggregates. Lightweight aggregates can be classified into two categories, namely natural lightweight aggregates and artificial lightweight aggregates. First one, pumice. In natural lightweight aggregate, the first one is pumice, diatomite, scoria, sawdust, and rice husk. First one, pumice. Natural lightweight aggregates are not found in many places, which are also not of uniform quality. And these are the rocks of volcanic origin which occur in many parts of the world. They are very light enough and yet strong and can be used as a lightweight aggregates. And the lightweightness, that the property is because of the escaping of gas from the molten lava. So the pumice is usually light colored in nearly white. Second one, diatomite. This diatomite is a hydrated amorphous silica which is derived from the remains of microscopic aquatic plants, and it is called as diatoms. Next one, scoria. The scoria is also lightweight aggregate of volcanic origin which is usually dark in color, and it contains a larger and irregularly shaped cells and which is unconnected with each other. Therefore, it is slightly weaker than the above pumice. Next one, volcanic cinders. These are volcanic cinders are the product which is resembling of the artificial cinders. And sawdust is used as a lightweight aggregate in flooring and in the manufacturing of the precast products. Sawdust setting and hardening of the Portland cement owing to the content of the insoluble carbohydrates. The shrinkage and moisture movement of the sawdust is also very high. The practical mix of the ratio is 1:2 to 1:3, and that is cement to sawdust by the volume batching. In the sawdust, by using of sawdust, the volume content of the cement is calculated by the volume batching. Sawdust concrete has been used in the manufacture of precast concrete products. Next one, rice husk. Limited use of rice husk and groundnut husk have been used as a lightweight aggregate for the manufacturing of lightweight concrete for the special purposes. Next one, artificial lightweight aggregate. Under that, first one is brickbats. The brickbats are the one of the types of aggregates used in certain places where natural aggregates are not available, or it may be costly also. It will be absorb the water very less amount. Next one, cinder, clinkers and breeze. The term clinker, breeze and cinders are also used to cover the material partially fused or sintered particles which will come from the combustion of coal. Cinder aggregates undergoes high shrinkage and drying shrinkage and moisture movement. The unsoundness of clinker or cinder aggregates is often due to the presence of excessive unburned coal particles. Next one, foamed slag. The foamed slag is the one of the most important types of lightweight aggregates, and it is made by blast furnace slag. As a byproduct, it is produced in the manufacturing of iron. This foamed slag must be free from contamination of heavy impurities and free from volatile impurities such as coke or coal, and free from excess of sulfate. And bloated clay. When certain glass and shales are heated to the point of fusion, they expand what is termed as bloat to many times their original volume, on account of the formation of gas within the mass of the fusion temperatures. This is about lightweight aggregates. Naturally, the lightweight concrete is made by the only one method, that inclusion of air in concrete, and this is achieved by in actual practice by three different ways. First one, by replacing the usual mineral aggregate by cellular porous or lightweight aggregate. By introducing of gas or air bubbles in the mortar. This is known as aerated concrete. By omitting the sand fraction from the aggregate, this is also known as no fines aggregate. Next one, lightweight aggregate concrete. Lightweight concrete is made by the use of lightweight aggregates. We have seen that different lightweight aggregates have different densities. Naturally, when these aggregates is used, concrete of different densities are obtained. By using of expanded perlite or vermiculite, the concrete of density as low as 300 kg per meter cube can be produced. And by the using of expanded slag, sintered fly ash, bloated clay, a concrete density of 1900 kg per meter cube can be obtained. The strength of the lightweight concrete may also be vary from 0.3 Newton per mm square to 40 Newton per mm square. And a cement content of 200 kg per meter cube to 500 kg per meter cube may be used. The strength of the lightweight concrete depends upon the density of the concrete. So the grading of the aggregate and water cement ratio, degree of compaction also affect the strength of the concrete. So these are the different properties, various properties which are very affect the strength of the concrete. Cellular concrete. Next one, cellular concrete. This cellular concrete is also known as aerated concrete, gas concrete, foam concrete. And aerated concrete is made by introducing of air or gas into a slurry and composed of Portland cement. There are several ways in which aerated concrete can be manufactured: by the formation of gas by chemical reaction within the mass during the liquid or plastic state. Second one, by mixing pre-formed stable foam with the slurry. Next one, by using of finely powdered metal with the slurry and made to react with the calcium hydroxide and liberated during the hydration process to give large quantity of hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas, when contain a slurry mix, which will give you cellular structure. So these are the different types of methods which will give you cellular concrete. Next one, no fines concrete, and it is a method by removing of fines from the conventional concrete. Um, and mixed proportion. No fines concrete is generally made with the aggregate to cement ratio from 6:1 to 10:1. Aggregates normally which are used by the production for the production of no fines concrete is must be passing through the 20 mm sieve and retained on 10 mm sieve. And water cement ratio for the satisfactory results will be vary from 0.38 to 0.52. And there is no standard method is available like slump test or compaction factor test for measurement of consistency of the cement, and cement which is used in the for the production of no fines concrete. We can we can see the consistency of the concrete by the visual examination only. No fines concrete, when conventional concretes are used, they may show density of about 1600 kg per meter cube to 1900 kg per meter cube. For the properties of the compaction, by using of mechanical compaction and vibratory methods are not required. By using of simple rodding is sufficient for the full compaction results. And this is about the no fines concrete. We can see here no fines concrete is a cross-sectional view. Here we are separating removing the fines from the concrete. We can see it is a roadmap: previous concrete layer, geotextiles, and it is an optional one, and aggregate, which is used as a base layer, and the third layer can be geotextile and geomembrane, which are used for the road construction point of view. In this diagram, we can clearly observe that the fines are removed or separated. By fines are after the separation of fines, we can get exactly a large size of particles like below diagram. Next one, high density concrete. High density is name itself shows the heavy weight. So density of normal concrete is in order of 2400 kg per meter cube. The density of lightweight concrete will be less than that, about the density 1900 kg per meter cube. The unit weight ranging from 3360 kg per meter cube to 3840 kg per meter cube. It will offer the most strength compared to normal conventional concrete. It can be used in everywhere in all the construction practices. So it can be resistant to extreme weather conditions. Whatever the weather conditions, so it can be it will be resistance. So advantages of the high density concrete: high neutron and gamma rays attention, good mechanical properties, and low initial and maintenance cost, easy to construct. Next one, fiber reinforced concrete. The normal fibers which will be used in the reinforced concrete means steel fibers, polypropylene, nylons, asbestos, coir, glass, and carbon. Fiber is a small piece of reinforcing material which possesses certain characteristic properties. So these properties are depend upon the aspect ratio. So the aspect ratio of the fiber is the ratio of its length to its diameter. The aspect ratio will range from 30 to 150. Steel fiber is one of the most commonly used fiber and which will be in the shape of the round. The diameter may vary from 0.25 to 0.75 mm. By using the steel fiber, some significant properties can be changed. The properties may be flexural, impact and fatigue and concrete strength. Next one, polypropylene nylon fibers can be suitable to increase the impact strength. They possess very high and tensile strength. Asbestos. The tensile strength of the asbestos varies from 560 to 980 Newton per mm square. By using of glass fiber, we can have high tensile strength of 1020 to 4080 Newton per mm square. Carbon fiber, it will give high tensile strength of 2110 to 2815 Newton per mm square. So by using of different types of fibers like steel, polypropylene, nylon, asbestos, coir, glass and carbon, we can achieve high tensile strength and the lifetime of the structure will be increased. So factors affecting the properties of the concrete. First one, type of the fiber geometry, fiber content and orientation, distribution of fibers and mixing and compaction techniques of the concrete, size and shape of the aggregates which we are using in the proper concrete. Depend upon these factors, we can change the material properties and the tensile strength or compressive strength, whatever the properties may vary according to the conditions. So in this diagram we can see that here we can observe one steel rod, one steel fiber which are used in the concrete to increase the tensile strength of the concrete. So one of the fiber reinforced concrete it is. So in this diagram we can observe crack. The crack, how much crack and the cracks which are obtained in the plain concrete and fiber reinforced concrete we can observe. So the fiber reinforced concrete, whatever the fiber we are using, it will increase the strength of the particular concrete, particular structure. So the cracks are also very less compared to plain concrete. Thank you.